All right, boys, it is finally time to show you guys the finished dream garage build.
Mopboyz, Mopboyz. When that two-stroke pop, tell me who want to smoke with us. 12 o'clock on your block, this rumor scraping, it won't stop. Make them 70s whip, this caster smell like piss. In that balance point can't miss. Get behind me, throttle up and dip. Scooter so damn wet, came out water like a fish. Malosi and Pellini, stay up on me, bitch, I'm dipped.
And now that the garage is done, it is time to get started on some of our big projects on this channel. And as you know, the Piaggio Typhoon is going to be next up on the build list. And we have one thing to check before we do so, and that would be our Mopboyz RC1 here. We need to go over this motor and make sure this thing is not damaged because we had some history with this thing. Oh, okay, well, I see that we have a bigger issue. Damn, I got coolant all over my tire now. And that brings us to today's sponsor of the video, Teslong. Teslong has a bunch of high quality budget options for tools, and today we're going to be checking out the articulating bore scope. Using something like this could save a ton of money and a ton of time because we could possibly prevent having to open this motor up, and we can look right inside the engine using this bore scope right here. If you don't know what a bore scope is, this basically is a handheld LED screen with a camera here on the adjustable rod here at the end. But today, we're going to demonstrate it here on our Mopboyz RC1 engine. There might possibly be some damage in this engine. That's what we're about to find out. We had problems with this engine overheating and possibly soft seizing on us. So we want to make sure the cylinder walls inside of our engine here are not damaged. And we're going to do so by just sticking this right through the spark plug hole. As you can see, the camera at the end has an LED light, obviously, so you can see down in there. Oh wow, look how clear that is. We have an adjustment knob right here on the handle so you can move this thing around while you're in there. Let's take a look at the cylinder walls. Ooh, there's a little scoring right there. You see that? Uh-oh. You see that little score going up and down? That doesn't look too bad though. As you can see right here, we definitely have a little scoring here on the cylinder. The top of our piston looks really good though. This is a great way to check the health of your engine right here. Two-stroke guys, you would know that you are pulling the top end off of your engine a lot when you're questioning what's going on inside of there. You can just pop your carburetor off and just look right down in here and see if there's any damage or anything to your reads. There's a record button back here on the back with the camera logo. We'll hit that. We can actually record what's going on in here. Maybe you want to send it to a friend, ask them a question, swap over to our video recording right here, and it has audio and everything. A very important tool that everybody needs in their garage and probably doesn't have yet, just like myself. Now, I know this is gonna save me a ton of time in the future, and especially when I run into situations working on my cars or engines like that, and being able to check inside of there before even having to crack a bolt loose saves me so much time and money. If you want to grab one of these yourself, make sure to check out the description down below. And thank you, Teslong, for joining along the channel and sponsoring this video. If you haven't seen the first part of the Dream Garage build, we went through, we closed off the ceiling and added all that drywall there and got rid of our open attic. Added an attic drop-down door for some storage, bunch of the hexagon lights here, and then painted the walls as you saw. Most importantly, we did the garage floors, which was a huge upgrade for us because we had a really hideous chipped away garage floor. And as we talked about in the end of that video, we had huge plans for our scooter storage. I wanted to build a second story loft, which you can see here behind me, and we finally got that done, boys. And we have a ton of things to show you guys exactly what we did on this part 2 of the Dream Garage build. So let's go ahead and go back and show you guys how we got to this point. What you last saw was our finished garage, but it was empty. We slowly gathered most of our belongings that we had scattered amongst the backyard and finally started putting them back into the garage, but we did not finish exactly how we were going to set up the garage. We piled a bunch of bikes in there. We knew we had to figure out a better storage situation. That's what we're here to do today in part 2 of our garage build. The first thing we're going to do is finish off our workbench by just pouring some epoxy over the black paint we put down last time. This is my first time doing this, and I'm not even sure I was doing it right. I kind of sent it. Gonna have a little bit of protection on it now so we don't chip away all that black paint immediately the second we set something down on here. While we waited for the epoxy to dry, we got busy setting up our pallet rack. We picked this up off Marketplace for $250 and we had to cut it down on site on the pickups. We brought a bandsaw with us and cut it in half because the posts on this thing were 14 feet tall and the beams were 12 feet wide. That's why we have this tape measure down right now, kind of figuring out how many bikes we're gonna fit on here. All right, now begins the second story for the scooters. This is a pallet rack that we just picked up, and this thing was off the rip 12 feet tall, 12 feet long. We had no option but to cut these in half, but that is completely fine because we plan on only going 4 foot high from the floor anyways. So I have the shelf like about here, and we'll just keep this bar as like the top support beam, and then we're gonna cut the extras off of that. Now these beams right here are 12 feet long. I only originally planned on 10. This guy told me that they were 5 foot deep shelves, 10 foot long. So he got some measurements wrong there. Kind of throws us off, I'm not gonna lie, because the scooters are a little bit longer than 4.5 feet, and 5 foot would have been perfect for these things to be on the shelf. So now we're gonna have to widen this shelf somehow. We got some plans to do, but basically I'm gonna kind of get this set up with the shelf and then get an idea. But from what I've plotted in here so far, 12 foot from the wall will run us pretty much right to this pre-bug. Or we're gonna chop it, I don't know. That's what we're gonna plot on right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and build the shelf in the backyard, get an idea, and then go from there. We also have now hung up the split AC. We're split unit up here already. We're running the plumbing through here. We already drilled it. So condensers outside, we got it on pads. We already have the electrical ram. We don't have it all wired to the actual condenser itself yet, but we have the electrical ram ready to be plugged in, and then we're running the line set right now. So split unit head is up here. Lines go right through the wall out the back side. We got to clean it all up, obviously with some line hide, and then tuck it and wrap it out there. Should be pretty straightforward after that. Also installed a full pegboard up here now. Temporarily just kind of threw stuff up there to get an idea of what it looks like, but that will be finalized here soon. I ordered more of that. Workbench has been painted. Crappily poured some epoxy on there just to kind of help the wood not chip away off the black paint. Might have to try to redo that. I'm not sure, it didn't turn out too perfect, but it's a workbench, so that's fine. It looks 10 times better in here now though, with just having that set up. All right, so like I said, we were miscalculated by the seller of this pallet rack here, but we have, for reference, a scooter here. We want this rack to be 5 feet long because that leaves us about 3 or 4 inches of safety room on each side of the tires for these bikes. This rack only being 3 feet, we need to weld a 2 foot ledge onto it. Now, debating if I want to do a 1 foot, or do I want to do a 2 foot? So that's what I'm debating right now. But luckily, we grabbed a bunch of the beams that came with this pallet, even though we only needed 1 shelf. I almost considered leaving these, but now it worked out perfectly because I have a bunch of 6x2 10 foot steel bars right here. So we're gonna make those the support bars. Probably take another one of these beams, like I said, keep it a floating ledge, and then weld supports going out to the beam, kind of like a patio, if you will, here. And I think that's gonna cut it. These are meant to hold a ton of weight, and we're putting the lightest bikes out there. These bikes are about 100 pounds a pop, so I'm thinking 500 pounds to maybe 800 max on this shelf, and these things can hold like 1,500 pounds. So the only problem was the ledge. That's why I was only considering the 1 foot on each side, or the 2 foot ledge might be better because the motors will be on the back, so 80% of the weight here. Yeah, I'm just ripping things off the top of my head right now, but I will let you guys know once we get this a little bit more figured out. We need to start plotting on how we're gonna build this scooter rack. So me and Colton started stacking this pallet rack together and kind of figuring out exactly how high we need to be. We know we need to be 4 feet below, so the scooter's underneath clear and the handlebars don't mess it up. So we cut the post right after this support bar right here, which was a little bit over like 4.5 feet for the support bar, and our shelf underneath is 4 foot. This will work perfectly because our ceilings are just a hair over 8 feet. So we have a little bit more than 4 feet below for the scooters, and then we have a little bit more than 4 feet above as well. Now we continued on building this storage rack for the scooters by cutting down our support bars to 2 feet right here. This is gonna be for like the balcony part of our scooter rack right here. We need 5 of these beams to run across here, so we have a support every couple feet, and then this thing will be pretty dialed. We worked on cutting those down. We grinded off all the edges to make sure there was clean metal so we can get this thing welded on. We're working on grinding away the paint exactly where these bars are going to go. That way we have a really clean surface to weld to and make sure everything's dialed, because there's like 3 layers of paint on this pallet rack as is, and we're going to be painting this later on as well. So don't worry, we're not going to leave it this ugly color. I needed to make sure that all these bars were level before we welded anything, so I actually had to shim up this pallet rack and make sure the pallet rack was completely level, and then I can go from there making sure our support bars are actually level for this little balcony ledge thing, if you will. and then we started tacking everything on. We'll get everything tacked on for now, and then we'll come back and lay some full beads on there. Once we double check, everything is lining up right. All right, here's where we stand so far. So as you can see, this is our patio off of our pallet rack here. Now, also, we're gonna be studding it into the ground. So these things are hefty, boys. Put weight on it and test it, obviously, but 2-foot edge, it's about 3.5 feet long here. So not bad. We're gonna run some beads around here, and then we'll pick this beam up, weld it along the front of it, and then this beam here will have a lip. So then we'll run plywood across the back, and I'll have a little lip right here, so the plywood will be stopping it right there, and then the tires also won't roll off, if that makes sense too, because I'll have a little lip. So double whammy with that one. I think this is going to be absolutely perfect. And while I was handling that over there, we got Colton over here finishing up this bad boy with the split unit. Hiding the line set. Hello. That's it. Ryuk supervising. Yes, sir. We now get to do the fun task of just running beads all up and around and underneath all the support bars that we just added to here. I'm kind of skipping around, just making sure it doesn't get too hot in certain places. So I'm bouncing back and forth, and we're getting this beam grinded down and ready to lift onto there as well. So me and Colton grabbed that. We set a ladder on the other side, and we tacked this one on. Kind of a two-man job for this situation, so I'm glad I had Colton here to help me with that. And then we also didn't want it to warp from any heat as we went through, so I put a strap in here to pull it together just to make sure everything was a very, very tight fit, because the beam was a little twisted. These were obviously used, but it definitely wasn't too damaged to use. So went through here and then welded all the beads now onto the front beam. We want to make this thing as strong as possible, so we ran welds all the way around all of the support beams here. Now we will run some 3/4 inch plywood on top of that, and this thing should hold plenty of weight for what we're gonna have it for. So we toasted through a bunch of black spray paint and got this thing dialed in, so when we woke up in the morning, we can finalize the scooter rack. This is how the rack is looking now. We need to paint it, but we have all our sheeting on there and screwed down. So we're gonna have it anchored into the ground so it doesn't tip, obviously, but this thing has most of the weight right here. All the engines and stuff are gonna be over the back half. So now we need to grab some paint, some concrete anchors, some final things, we're good to go. Got the work truck warming up over here. Oh, you already got the gates propped. We're ready to roll. Get it out this way. A little bit, yep. Oh yeah, that's a 30. That's 130. You like that? There you go. That's it. We took the donk over to Home Depot for hopefully the final Home Depot trip this weekend, because we at least have 15 trips under our belt with this garage build right now. So we rolled out to Home Depot, grabbed some black paint so we could finish this scooter rack. Also, along that trip, we met up with John and Ricky. So we had all hands on deck here to finalize this paint. We had 4 rollers. John was going in on all the edges. We were trying to get all the coverage on this thing. Uncle Rick over here and Ryuk supervising, of course, as we finally finished the scooter rack. This thing is looking so dialed. I'm ready to get this thing painted so we can quickly just throw it right into the garage while we have everybody here and we have all the help to start lifting these scooters on. I wasn't sure exactly how I was going to do this for the meantime until I get a pallet lift or something to lift these scooters here. So luckily I had all the homies here today. I knew it was a perfect chance to get some help to throw these scooters up there. So we just started piling scooters up on top of the rack and started finally seeing the result of what this thing was going to look like. And yes, we bolted and anchored this thing down into the concrete as well, so don't worry, but this thing is plenty strong. We now threw some bikes underneath and everything fit exactly as we planned, even lined up with the black stripe on the paint. Part 2 of the garage build went down today and it couldn't have turned out any better. We even had the Goodyear blimp pull up to see what was going on as we finalized our dream garage build. All right, boys, it is time to give you a major update on the garage. Now, you saw that we built the scooter storage. Now it's time for you to see this thing in full effect right now. Check this out, boys. This does not even look real in here. This has transformed this garage a complete 180. I cannot believe how perfect this storage shelf actually worked out. I planned this way before I painted or did anything. This was a thought process that has been in the making for about a month now. As you can tell, all the measurements, even up to the paint, was an idea. I wanted the stripe to be pretty much level with this, so it looked like these scooters were kind of like just split perfectly in the halfway point. We definitely still are not over the weight limit that these shelves can hold. Huge square tubing under here with 3/4 inch thick plywood all the way down, and this thing is solid. Under the backside where all the weight and the kickstands are, as you can tell back here. It's fully reinforced through with 2x4s down there. So I knew the shelf had to be perfectly at 4 feet for the bottom of the bar, which it is. That way these scooters can still fit comfortably underneath, so the handlebars don't get hit on anything, and then the ones up top will still have room as well. That way it's perfectly level, and it worked out. 2-foot ledge off of it right there, and now we have a 5-foot deep, 4-foot tall scooter rack. This pallet rack was only 250 bucks, and then I have another half of this outside, which I can almost make the exact same thing again with. So it was a perfect deal. For less than $300, including some paint, we're able to get 2 of these scooter racks made out of a pallet rack. This is something that I think is going to be a game changer for the scooter boys. I think if you're a scooter collector like me, this is something you definitely need to upgrade to in your garage. For now, I need to finalize a few more things in this garage, which would be the lighting back here. So I plugged in some lights that would go behind the bike. I don't have enough of them yet. There was just the leftover that I had from the ceiling. I'm gonna add some more lights behind here. So we get the 6 hexagons behind here, and it really helps these scooters glow. But just that little bit of light already makes a big difference. So now all I need to do right now is tuck some wires back here. As you can tell, I kind of just got them hanging down there and temporarily mounted up here. But I was able to run an extension cord back to that switch. Bought one of these bad boys on Amazon. That way I can reach the switch right here without having to run another switch on the wall after we just did all that paint. We also grabbed some more pegboard right here to run here to put smaller stuff like extension cables and random stuff that we might need in and out the backyard right here. We got a bunch to do still, but this has came a long way. We now have AC in the garage, boys. This is the absolute cherry on top for this garage, because this makes it a game changer here for the summers. I'm basically never leaving the garage at this point. As you saw with the pallet rack that we picked up, it was a 14-foot tall pallet rack. So we cut that thing in half. We were able to get 2 of the pallet racks out of here. So basically I can honestly build a whole nother scooter storage if I wanted to out here. We have an extra beam, which I used for the front plate. We just need some structure bar going across. So it worked out perfect with this pallet setup, and it's crazy we were able to get that for $250, and we basically have 2 scooter racks out of it now. So we have the full split unit, all the wiring and all the plumbing set up for that. We took one of our racks out here, and just kind of temporarily, we kind of just shoved stuff around. But all our prized possessions and the good bikes are now safe and sound in here in the garage. This has came such a long way, and we've been going hard for like a month straight in here. Even this last weekend, we were doing like 20-hour days just doing the AC and then building this rack here. But we got it all done. And thanks to all the homies who pulled up in just the last few days and helped with this, with Ricky, John, and especially Colton. But everybody helped on this one, and it came out so sick. I feel like I should start a business selling these scooter racks right here. So for loading the bikes up here now, we've manually lifted them as you saw, but I want to get a 4-foot manual pallet jack, because I've seen those before. They have electric ones and they also have manual ones. If I get a 4-foot pallet jack, which is basically exactly this height, and then just lift them up and have it sideways and just roll them on and off the pallet rack. That's kind of what I'm thinking. But in case of emergencies and I'm out here by myself and I don't have that yet, the reason we kind of kept this open here is for that exact reason. So I can move this bug frame if I had to, or pull this out the way, and I can just slap my ramp right here on the edge and run it a long ramp this way so the transition is not crazy, because this is perfect for that. And if I really had to, I can also just back my truck up right to here, put them off right into the bed of my truck and do it that way. So we kind of thought everything out. Like I said, this has been like a month of planning, but we made it happen, and it helped a ton in this garage. I no longer have to push the Banshee out every single time I come in the garage and want to work on something. So I usually just roll that thing in and out every night. There's usually like about 2 or 3 bikes that I have to kind of roll out of the garage before I can even move a bike around in here and actually start working. So this was like the biggest check mark off my to-do list for the last like 2 years. And now we can start some of our bigger projects that we've been kind of holding off for a long time to do, like the bug that's sitting over here in the corner. Basically the only unfinished thing in this garage right now. So I think the only plans I have next is probably to figure out an actual motorcycle lift situation that we can kind of have rolling in and out of the garage right here in the center. Now that I don't have to pull the Banshee in and out every single night, we should be able to get a motorcycle lift here and pretty much keep it stationary unless we absolutely have to move it. Well, the dream garage is complete. We got a ton done in this video, but that is going to do it for this video, boys. I'm so stoked with how this garage came out, and I hope a lot of you guys are inspired by this rack, because I think all the scooter guys, I know a lot of you guys have some bikes piled in your garage. Grab a pallet rack, build something like this. It didn't take much work at all, and it saved us a ton of room, and it looks super sweet in the background of the videos. And for those of you who have been asking about the Yamaha Jog, stay tuned because you'll see a video popping up on that thing in the next week or so. That's gonna do it for this one, boys. I will see you guys in the next video.